So I asked Coach Houston, but to win and you give up, I guess, 647 yards, I guess that kind of covers up the winning aspect, covers up your side. You'll take it either way, I guess.
You're excited to win, and that's probably number one thing you take away from that, and you enjoy it because wins are hard to come by, and anytime you can get a win, whatever it takes, however it comes, you enjoy that, and there's some positive we can take away from it, and last stop of the game, 3 turnovers, and a lot of things after the game that we can take a positive away from the game, but there's always things, whether you play good or bad, that you're going to go back and say, how can we get better, and there's a lot of things in that game we can take back and say, hey, our tackling's got to be better. This has got to be better. We got to execute here. So, and those will stop a lot of those problems, and won't be a close game coming down the fourth quarter type of situation. So, yes, enjoy the win and enjoy those situations where you can celebrate it. But at the same time, you got to get back to work and back to making corrections and getting back to playing defense the way we want to play defense. So, that's where we got to get back to. And kids have been doing a good job of that in practice week focusing on our tackling, focusing back on our fundamentals, focus back on getting downhill in the run game, and getting it stopping the backfield before it gets going. So, doing a good job of those things, and that's what it is.
Kind of going on that, Jaquan gets the interception, he had fumble recovery. It's crazy to think he's only a sophomore. It seems like he's just a leader, and he's been there 4 or 5 years. I mean, what's his impact been? Every single week he's kind of doing it.
Yeah, eligibility-wise, he might be a sophomore. Jaquan might be, but in our locker room, he is an older guy. He's a third-year player, been here a while, played a lot of football, a lot of snaps. And on game day, he always seems to be around the football and come up with the pick and come up with the big play when we need it. And he continues to do that. And just his leadership in that corners room and our defense and on our team has been outstanding. So excited about him and excited about the football moving forward for him.
Coach Houston said he wanted to see SuRaD play more leading into last week's game. He played more, seemed to play well. Can you just talk about his development and what that means for the D-line room?
Yeah, SuRaD's doing a good job, and I think we've been saying this for almost a year now, that those younger kids keep coming along, getting better every day, and SuRaD's one of those that has pushed through camp and really made a separation the last couple of weeks, and he just plays with grit and just a little bit of an attitude in there that you need from a D tackle, and playing really low pad level and leverage and knocking guys back. And I think we spoke about that last week. So just, and he'll continue to do those things. He'll continue to get better. And he's got to show up a little bit more this week than he did last week, but just really proud of the efforts he's making and just kind of continue to get better every week.
What about Charleston Southern gives you cause for concern offensively?
Well, Charleston Southern, very familiar with. Played them, I think 4 or 5 times throughout my career. A couple times at the Citadel, a couple times at Kennesaw State. Some of these same kids that are on their roster were there. The quarterback, Jack, recruited him out of high school, so very familiar with him and their program. So, and they're a very good program. The quarterback, he's very dynamic. He'll get it scrambling out of the pocket, and it turns into a scramble drill, and you turn somebody loose down the field. We made that mistake last week early in the game, and we got to continue to make sure we, plaster our guys in the secondary. And then we have eyes on the quarterback and get ready to trigger for him, get him on the ground and doing a good job. And he's really good at that, and he has been for years and done a nice job. They'll spread you out. They are a air raid spread offense, but they're very balanced. I mean, they got 150 yards rushing, 250 a pass in the game right now. So very good offense, and about 50-50 and what they want to do on first and second down. So we certainly got our work cut out for us. It doesn't matter, what level of football they are. They're a good football team, and they're going to bring their A game. And they got several receivers from here in North Carolina, local kids from Jakes Rose, Jacksonville, and High Point Central there, or the High Point area. So I'm sure they're going to be playing their best ball. So we got to be ready, and we got to go out and take care of us and do the things that we need to do to execute.
You got to be happy with the effort on turnovers in the Marshall game. There was 3, you could have had 6.
Yeah. There's 3. You could have had 6.
That's what Coach said.
Yeah, that's what Coach said. There's one. We had 3, and you're always excited about that. That's our goal: get 3 every week, and I think we've done that last couple of weeks. And we need to keep pushing forward for that. And it's always a conscientious effort in our practice, whether it's pre-practice, during practice. Ball drills, punching the ball out. Our little thing out here in the hallway that we punch at and slap at and just rake it out. So we're always conscious of that, but. A couple more there would have been nice. I think one of those on the last drive. We ended up getting on the last drive, so I'm not sure we could have got 6, but but yes, we got to keep working at it, and those can be the difference. And I think you pointed out college football has changed, and I think Coach Houston said something about it earlier in the week. The days of holding the 300 yards and 15 points, it may be gone. And as a defensive coach, that's hard to swallow sometimes. That takes a lot of pride out of you because you don't want to give up the 600-yard day. You don't want to give up the 400-yard day. But if you can get turnovers, get stops in the red zone, get the ball back to your offense, put them in scoring situations, and get off the field on third down, then I think you give yourself a chance to win the ball game, especially when your offense is moving the ball like ours was the other night and scoring points like ours was the other night. So that'll give us a chance to win.
I know you're not going to
pretty impeccable fourth quarter from you guys. Obviously, offense, defense, X's and O's wise, two separate things, but feeding off of each other. As a coach, offense scores, you guys come back on. What was that like, and how do you replicate that energy of the tandem offense and defense playing so well going forward?
That was an awesome fourth quarter. I mean, defensive for us, not giving up any points. Looking back at that, but just as a program, as a team, as a just the direction we went in there was see those kids fight and go out there and take it over. Get a stop on four downs. They try a shot on fourth down, so get a shot at turnover on downs there. We forced them to miss a field goal there. And then our offense putting points on the board, just kind of, you can see the confidence with our kids. Maybe some in the second and third, they didn't have it because we weren't really, the momentum wasn't going our way. But once we caught that momentum there in the fourth quarter, you've seen our kids take off. And there was no doubt, once we get that onside kick, hey, we're going to go win the game here. So just awesome. And we got to continue, like you said, replicate that every day in practice, our meetings, wherever it may be. And the big thing is this week, we're going to be in Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. It's going to be nice to be back in it and feel the energy from our fans, our awesome fan base, and the Boneyard, our student section. So really excited about that. And being at home helps with those situations, just to replicate a atmosphere where it's high energy.
I know the dual threat quarterback, you're not going to give away the whole game plan, but as far as either spying or just keeping tabs on him, how important is that if you can shut him down, how dynamic that could be? Yeah,
most definitely. If you got to keep Jack in the pocket and you got to make sure you got somebody that's responsible for if he gets out of the pocket to go, trigger and get him on the ground somehow. And we got some guys in practice, Walter Simmons, Stubblefield, those guys have been down there giving us a pretty good look of, scrumming around, breaking the pocket and doing some different things, or the zone read game, whatever it may be. So feel like, hey, we've got a pretty good look at it in practice that kind of can replicate Jack. So that's kind of nice to have. And then we got some different plans for different ways to account for the quarterback scramble or the quarterback run game. So we'll mix it up there. And as always, we'll bring our base stuff, but we'll bring some stuff in for an athletic scrambling quarterback that can move around and make plays down the field.
Coach, you added in DJ Ford this year. We talked to him this week. He feels like he's kind of really fitting in now. He's seeing the field the way with the defense. What are you seeing out of him? How much is his addition?
Yeah, and I think we talked about it before. DJ's an older guy, and you see it out there with his experience showing up, just being an older guy that goes out and can set our defense, run our defense, make some plays, and you can count on him to be there. So really excited about him, and I think his best football I don't think we've seen yet. I think it's coming. So he's continuing to push forward. He's not satisfied where he's at, and none of our guys are. Our guys, back to the point there, were disappointed. They were happy as heck to win, but disappointed knowing, hey, that wasn't our best performance. We got to get back to playing football the way we played, South Carolina, those type of things. So we got to get back to that, and that's DJ included. They're all pushing that way, and they got a mission on their mind right now. And that doesn't matter, who's on our schedule, who happened to be this week. That's our same focus. Is how much better can we get this week?
Miles Berry got the game ball last Saturday. Talked to him earlier in the week, and he said last week was probably one of the hardest weeks of his life, but he was appreciative of the family and the team rallying around him. How's he been dealing with this week?
Yeah. Miles is an awesome kid. He's awesome having around. And, when any of our players in our program, anybody in our program hurts, it hurts everybody. And our guys go through a lot of stuff. And our coaches, some of them are going through some different things in their their personal lives and things, but it's awesome to have a family, a football family, where they can lean on each other. And I think for Miles, being in those tough situations and being in his circumstance for the past, it's been going on for a couple of weeks. it's been nice for him to be around teammates and have guys that he can then lean on and help him through this. And you know, he's been outstanding about how he's handled it. He's always a smile on his face, always a positive guy. And you know, you guys have spoken to him in the media, and he carries himself very well. And just so proud of him and the way he's pushed through this thing. And you know, and he's still got tough days ahead. And we got to continue to be there for him and support him. And that's what this program's about. And just keep there for each other and make it a family. And that's what we'll continue to do for him.